I want to tell you the story of Rustic Road Farm and how this came to be. We've lived here for not even 3 weeks yet, but we've been looking at this farm for over a year and a half. We, Big Bowl and several other restaurants from Let Us Entertain You had a dinner down the road at Heritage Prairie Farm. They're about a mile and a half or a mile or so down the road. And so we did a dinner as a benefit for Family Farm. And someone who worked on the farm said, hey, you should go check out this place down the road if you like a farm. It's in foreclosure. So we drove down and we contacted the bank, but foreclosure hadn't finished yet, so it took them a while. I mean, in January, that was probably 3 or 4 months before we heard back from the bank. So in January was the first time that we were able to get inside of the house, and we loved it. We loved the house, we loved the barn, we loved the property. It's surrounded by agriculture. There's corn and soybeans around us. There's very few houses out here. The property itself is 5.5 acres. There's a Kane County Forest Preserve across the street, so they'll never build over there. So it's pretty exciting. We came up with Rustic Road Farm, the name Rustic Road Farm. It was the street itself has been designated a Kane County Rustic Road, so there are certain obligations that have to be met if anyone wants to build on it or do anything along the road. So we love that name, and we love the sign that was along with it, and it just seemed to fit as a name for this farm. So from here forward, this is officially Rustic Road Farm. Well, behind me is phase 1 of our first year farm project. I'd say it's about probably 3/4 of an acre, and on this property here we are going to plant and plow and plant our first crops this year. This is a former dairy farm, but this is obviously hadn't had cows on it for a while, but this land itself has probably been unused for farming for a number of years, which is actually a good thing. The land is well rested. There's a lot of red clover growing on it, which is a good cover crop. It helps in organic farming. It helps hold nitrogen into the soil, so we can till this under and there'll be natural fertilizer on this property. I recently talked to someone about having the field plowed, and he said to me, well, you know, there's a lot of grass back there, you'll have to get Roundup on it. And Roundup is an herbicide that kills everything that comes in contact with it. And honestly, I nearly dropped when he told me that. We are going to grow our food sustainably, organically. I hope one day we'll have organic certification out here, but that's really important to us. So we will not use Roundup or commercial fertilizers or weed killers or any pesticides on this property that are harmful to the environment. I think it's interesting when you look at the property here. It's beautiful green, there's birds everywhere, the flowers are blooming, and if you look around the perimeter of the property, this particular area is surrounded by cornfield. And even in early spring we've had gorgeous weather. If you look, there's not one weed or one bit of green in these fields. That's kind of sad to me, because I know in a few weeks or months or so when they plant this field that they're going to put more Roundup on it and more atrazine on it and kill the weeds that may or may not come. And that's sad because there's not anything green out there right now. So my guess to me is that they're putting too much on there and putting on pesticides and chemicals and herbicides when they don't need them. It is a challenge to grow organically. It's going to be a challenge to grow on this property with this dense grass that's on here. So we are doing this as sort of a 3-year project to get it up and running again. But that's what's important to us, and that's what we're going to do. I think it's important not only for us as a family, but it's important for our restaurants as well. The food that we grow here we'll certainly use for our family, but the goal is to grow food for our restaurants and for the guests that come into Big Bowl. So that's it. That's the very beginning. I mean, that's the hopes and dreams of what we want to do for Rustic Road Farm. And come back in a few weeks. I'm sure it'll change. I'm sure it's going to change as we move along here, but we're so excited to be here and to sort of chronicle this thing. It's pretty exciting to have this sort of a video diary of what's happening out on a farm as two people who are not farmers undertake a huge project here. But we're excited about it. We're not giving up our day job. We're adding to it, and so that's it. That's the dream. Come back soon and see the rest.